Hey guys, hello and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, we are back in my kitchen, so that can only mean one thing, and it is midweek munchies. So I am going to make a orange and chia seed slice. I'm feeling something really fresh and vibrant, full of flavor. So that's what I'm feeling like today, and that is what we are going to make. This is a really quick, simple recipe. So as usual, you want to preheat your oven. Today we are using the oven fan force at 160 degrees Celsius. I will put somewhere on the screen the Fahrenheit. Okay, so I have made this slice before, and normally I use coconut oil for my fats, but unfortunately I am not able to get my hands on coconut oil at the moment. I don't know if it's just the crazy times that we're living in at the moment, but everybody seems to be buying up all the coconut oil. So we will be using butter. We're going to be using 90 grams of melted butter. But if you have coconut oil, by all means use coconut oil. Okay, so the first thing you are going to want to do is get your almond flour, and we are going to use 1 cup of almond flour. When I use almond flour, I like to sieve it just to make sure that there are no lumps. Okay, so next is just some protein powder. I am using a vanilla protein, and you want to do 35 grams, and for this protein that is just 1 scoop. Protein's pretty light, you don't necessarily need to put it through the sieve, but because I've got it there, why not, hey? And because we are using almond flour, we want to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And because we are using baking powder, you want to add in some salt to activate it. The zest of 1 orange. Then you just want to make a little bit of a well. Add in 1 egg. 1/4 cup of milk. I am using soy milk, but you can use coconut milk, any kind of milk that you wish. Give that a little stir. Oh, this is smelling great already. Next, you want to add in 2 tablespoons of chia seed. Add in your butter or oil. Okay, and optional is some rice malt syrup. I'm just going to add in about a tablespoon. Okay, and just quickly, before I put in the orange juice, I'm just going to zest whatever's left, and I'm going to use it for a bit of a icing. And again, this is totally optional, but I will be using a glaze. Okay, so you just want to cut your oranges and then squeeze them if you have. Just leave a tiny little bit of juice if you are going to make the glaze. Okay, and your batter should look something like this. Okay, so then you just want to get your baking tray that you've either already lined with baking paper. Okay, we just want to pop it in the oven. Okay, so that's going to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes depending on the size of your pan. So I'm just going to set a timer for about 15 minutes. I'm going to check it, and once it's golden brown, it's ready to go. Okay, so the cake has been baking for 18 minutes now. I'm going to pull it out of the oven and I'm going to let it cool down. And once it's cooled, we are going to make the orange plate. Okay, so now that the cake is cooling down, it's almost cold now. or cool enough to put the glaze on, we are just going to make the glaze. So like I said before, we saved some of the zest from the orange earlier. Grab some of the orange that I still have left, and we just want a few drops. For the size of the cake I've made, that's probably about half a teaspoon to about a full teaspoon. When I'm making this glaze, I never really use measurements. It's probably a bit of a downfall for me, but I just taste it as I go. I'm just gonna use a little bit of rice malt syrup. That was about a quarter of a teaspoon. A little bit of vanilla essence. Again, about half a teaspoon. Now you can either use icing sugar for this, or I am going to use stevia. It's a stevia powder. Okay, so that's about that's a teaspoon thereabouts. Give that a good stir. Okay, so I've almost got it to the consistency that I want, but I am just going to add a tiny little bit more of the stevia, just like a little sprinkle. Give that another good stir. Anyway, so now that the cake is completely cooled, we are going to just simply put this glaze over the top. And all I'm going to do is just kind of drizzle it on. So that concludes the recipe. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe of my orange chia seed slice. This is truly delicious. You're not going to regret making it. It's super simple, and you probably have most of the ingredients in your cupboard. And if you don't, you can substitute any of these ingredients. If you don't have almond flour, you can use self-raising flour, and it will just make a bit more of a fluffier cake. Or you could use a gluten-free flour, whatever the case may be. You could use flaxseed egg instead of an actual egg. Yeah, so this recipe is really adaptable, but it's a great little snack to have on hand, and it's a great way of using oranges. So if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps support my channel, and it lets me know the kinds of videos you guys want to see. Bye for now.